Do you want a heavy duty crankset with the 19mm spindle? Today, I'm going to do an explain and review on the Haro Lineage cranks. Like always, I tell you everything from how they're made to if they fit your bicycle. So yeah, let's check these out. Whoa. My books are getting tired. Alright. So, actually I'll show you the box and everything that comes in it. So they come in a really nice box like this. It has a bunch of different colors on it. I love the way they laid out the boxes. A lot of people don't really put very much time into the box, but the box makes the cranks and just the feeling when you get it like they actually cared about it. So I really appreciate that. Not only that, but they also, I kind of took these out of the wrap, the plastic bags that they had, because I just wanted you to see the cranks a little bit. So, but these did come in plastic bags. Same thing with the Spindle. The Spindle came fully greased and everything. I took the grease off just because I'm going to be touching it. But what's cool is they give you some extra grease right here so you can grease up your cranks, install them, and do whatever you got to do. They come with two different bolts. So they got the standard sprocket bolt, and then they got the nano bolt, which is a smaller bolt. I'll explain that in a little bit for you. Another thing I noticed too is that it comes with some stickers right here. And if you look at these cranks here, they have the standard Lineage blue color and chrome, and it has a bunch of other colored graphics on here, which I think this is pretty cool because then you can match your bike to all the different colored cranks. So comes with green, white, like a aqua, light blue, and a red. So if you have a bike that is that color, you can slap these on there and just make your cranks look different or match your bike. So I thought that was a good plus with it. A lot of people freak out because the graphics aren't the same color as their bike, or that blue's not going to match my red bike, or so on and so on. So that's a good thing for them. These cranks are pretty cool because they are your standard 19mm spindle, but they got a couple features that I want to show you that kind of stick out to me that I think are pretty cool. So first off, they got a heavy duty pedal boss. So this is a pedal boss which your pedal threads into. The crank arm actually goes around the whole pedal boss, and it's seamless. Doesn't have any weld marks or anything like that. All it has is the weld marks from the actual pedal boss. So I think that's makes the cranks really solid. I've broken crank arms, and usually the pedal boss falls off right here, or they bend from right here, or they snap right here on the edge. So looking at that has some good features on it that'll keep it from busting. Another thing I noticed is that this crank arm is slightly square, so that creates a little bit stiffness on both sides, up and down, up and down and side to side. So kind of creates an IBM effect and makes your cranks a little bit stronger. What I also noticed is that right here where they put the vinyl, the graphic on here, it's actually recessed down, so it's kind of embossed, or I forget what it's called, but it's kind of recessed down, and so the sticker kind of just fits right in there. On the above it, they had the Chevron little logo right here, and that thing is also recessed as well. It looks pretty cool. Going to the back of the crank arms, keep in mind that these cranks are right hand and left hand compatible, so you don't have to flip your pedals and ride pedals that feel really awkward. They have pedal bosses on both sides. Sprocket bosses on both sides. So there's a sprocket boss right here. Another thing I noticed is that it's slimmed down quite a bit so that it could fit any guarded sprocket. A lot of the guard sprockets tend to hit the pedal boss if it's too large, and the sprocket sits really crooked. So I noticed they slimmed it down quite a bit so that it doesn't hit that. Let me see. So yeah, it's got the regular sprocket bolt, which is this large one here, and it's got a nano bolt hole right here, which most people use on like flatland bikes if you're running like a 23 tooth sprocket or smaller. So that helps out a lot. It's got 48 splines in here, and here's the other thing that I think is really cool on this crank arm is the fact that they got threads inside of this this little hole right here. I guess it would be a spindle boss. So right here that has threads on there. What you're going to use that for is you're going to take a crank arm puller and you're able to stick it inside of there and to use that to pull off your crank arms. So I think that's a big plus on it. You do use a stationary or the regular mountain bike style crank puller. So I think that's pretty cool. Most bike shops have that. Some of the other cranks have different sizes and stuff like that, and most shops might not have that unless you go to a specific BMX one. Then most likely they will. Going down to the spindle and kind of telling you if these cranks fit your bike. This spindle is a 48 spline spindle, which means it has 48 of these little lines in order to go into the crank arms, and that creates a really strong bond between the crank arms and the spindle. It's also used on your car steering wheel. So if it's used for the car steering wheel, you know this thing's not going to have play in it. You know it's going to be super heavy duty. So I think that's pretty sweet that they do that. I'm going to pull these both off so you can check out the spindle. So the spindle here is 4130 chromoly, and it's super hollow. See how hollow it is? That thing is super lightweight, one of the lightest weight ones. Oh, also too, this spindle comes in at 5 1/4 inches wide. So yeah, that's the length of it. The bolts here, that has a nice long bolt. I've seen a lot of other crank arms with short bolts and stuff like that. Having a longer bolt will allow that bolt to come out a little bit more before falling out. A lot of people have troubles with their crank bolts falling out, so that will help quite a bit. It also has a special washer in here with kind of a tapered edge on the inside to match up with the bolt. And this bolt is an 8mm hex head bolt, and the bolt is also hollow, so designed to be lightweight. I think that's pretty cool. And if you want to know if this crankset fits your bike, so this is a 19mm spindle. This crankset fits pretty much every single stock bicycle out on the market. So if you got any bicycle with the 19mm spindle or a stock crank setup, as long as it's a 3-piece cranks, you got like a 99% chance that this spindle fits that, and you could just swap out the cranks. You don't need to take out the bearings or anything like that. So you're pretty well set up. If you have maybe a higher end bike that's, you know, I mean, $1,000, you know, I mean, on up, or actually maybe about $700-800 on up, you might have a different style of crank system, and it might not fit these cranks. But you could always buy bearings to fit a 19mm spindle. Very simple to purchase. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Haro Lineage 3-piece cranks. I hope you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with a friend that would like this video. And yeah, thanks a lot for your support. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.